The government told a parliamentary panel that India will continue to import crude oil from countries offering the cheapest prices and best quality, with oil companies factoring in geopolitical conditions and sourcing only from non-sanctioned supplies. Now, the assurance was given by senior officials from the External Affairs and Commerce Ministries to the Parliamentary Standing Committee on External Affairs, chaired by Shashi Tharoor. Now, among those briefing MPs was Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri. Discussions largely focused on the India-U.S. interim trade agreement and the India-EU free trade agreement, covering issues such as Russian oil, agriculture and tariffs. Tharoor said officials indicated that an interim trade deal with the U.S. could be finalized by the middle of next month, though final details would follow later. He noted that while Indian products will face an 18% U.S. tariff, this is lower than the earlier rate of 50%. Officials also said India's plan to increase imports from the U.S. to $500 billion over 5 years is aspirational, not binding. This was also reflected in the updated fact sheet posted by the White House, where the word commits has been changed to intends, stating that India intends to buy $500 billion worth of American goods over the next 5 years. Meanwhile, Indian oil companies can now source crude from the U.S. and Venezuela following the lifting of energy sanctions. Russia has meanwhile said and accused, in fact, the U.S. of trying to block India and other countries from buying Russian oil, alleging Washington is using coercive measures such as tariffs, sanctions and direct prohibitions to assert global economic dominance. Russian Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov said the U.S. is attempting to control Russia's trade and energy ties with major partners, including India and other BRICS nations, through what he called unfair methods and expanded sanctions on Russian oil companies. Now, Lavrov's remarks come amid heightened scrutiny of India's oil imports following U.S. President Donald Trump's claim that New Delhi agreed to stop buying Russian crude under the recent trade deal. Now, while the U.S. rolled back an additional 25% tariff imposed earlier over India's Russian oil purchases, it warned the levy could be reimposed if such imports resume. Listen in to what Lavrov said.
They're banning the operations of Russian oil companies like Lukoil and Rosneft, and they're trying to control our trade, our investment cooperation, and our military technical ties with our largest strategic partners, like India, for example, and other BRICS members.